This is a Jan van der Heyden view of the Vliet, which is a navigable river near Delft. And it's an example of Dutch naturalism. And naturalism, the realistic depiction of the world around us, is one of those things that seems so natural and so easy to appreciate that it's perhaps difficult for us to appreciate how difficult it is to achieve. And I think it has three elements. The first is the depiction of detail. And Jan van der Heyden is famous for the incredible precision with which he will describe the courses of mortar around every individual brick. But even in that detail, he's making a lot of judgments about what we can see in the real world and what we can't see. So that you can see in the depiction of trees how the fine and detailed precision in the description of the branches in the near trees starts to melt into something softer and more generalized as we move into the distance, and even more melted and generalized in the reflection in the waves. And the other aspect of realism is that it's not enough to paint objects. You have to paint the light and the atmosphere in which those objects are seen. And that explains this kind of softness, which almost feels as if it's breathing as you see this sort of pale evening light falling over these forms. Nothing too exaggeratedly bright and nothing too dark as the light sort of drains away towards the end of the day. But the really effective depiction of light comes in the sky when you see this extremely subtle transition from the lighter, yellower down by the horizon to the slightly darker, minusculely darker and bluer at the top to give you this sense of a great dome of sky. It's evening, but it's not evening suggested through brilliant reds of a sunset. It's evening suggested through very, very subtle transitions of light and color. And the final aspect of the realism lies in the decision of what to paint in the first place, and the awareness that it's not really in the grabbing of some significant or important object that the perception of an artist is really shown to its best advantage. It's in the ability to show that a perfectly ordinary scene that we might all wander through is worthy of being painted. It's that ability to elevate the day-to-day and to make something lasting and valuable out of it that you see here. Because this is really a very, very ordinary scene. It's a public thoroughfare. It's a working river. It's not a precious place. And funnily enough, the one bit of it which is precious, the one bit that somebody must be very proud of, this country has here, exactly the type that prosperous Dutch city-dwelling merchants were building for themselves along the sides of rivers and canals in the countryside. This country villa is actually not the center of attention at all. It's really quite peripheral. And we can only see at the most glancing angle that it has a line of 4 elegant pilasters along its facade. So it's as if Jan van der Heyden is saying, this is but one part of a shared experience of the world. And to get that kind of unselective, sort of hierarchical view of the world, to get it again, we have to wait hundreds of years for the Impressionists, who had exactly the same attitude to the landscape around Paris, and you can imagine something like this painted at Argenteuil in the suburbs of Paris, where we would see a similar scene, except of course in that case there would be a railway bridge and perhaps a factory chimney in the background.